Hey guys, welcome back to the Merchant Services Slayers group, guys, and I'm very excited to actually put out there this series of videos that's actually going to very much help build your portfolio, help you make more money, and actually help you close more deals. Now, there's a lot of performers that you can actually listen to, guys, and I'm not here to actually tell you what I've done before in the past and what we're currently doing right now, but my job with these videos, guys, is to give the best content and best information from one of the best in the industry to get you to close more deals. So today we're gonna talk about some very bold statements and some guarantees and thought processes that are gonna really actually help you sell more processing deals in merchant services. Okay, it's very to the point, very sales oriented, and very proven in the field. Okay, so what we're gonna talk about today, guys, is how to sell 30 to 40 MPAs per month as a representative. Okay, so we will make a few different bold claims in this video, and we're gonna talk about the psychology behind selling in general, because we do a lot of consulting, guys, not only on just selling, but specifically in merchant services, but how this is going to actually physically and mentally help you get to that point where you're a top performer. The top 1% of merchant processing representatives, guys, in this industry will have the capacity with lead generation or self-prospecting to sell 30 to 40 MPAs per month, if not more. Okay, so we're gonna talk about what separates the 1% of those representatives and individuals from all of the other performers that are out there in the industry. Guys, we've had the opportunity to meet representatives that are 19 years old that can perform at this level, or people that are 50, 60, 70-year-olds that can perform at this level. There's not really a specific trait or individual within sales that makes a highly successful rep, especially within processing, but today I'm gonna give you 3 tips on how you can change your mindset to sell 30 to 40 deals per month with lead generation or without it to get you to that point, okay? The first point, very important to understand, guys, to take your ideas in your brain outside of the box of just selling merchant services, okay? We need to really think about this. We need to do our homework because our paycheck relies upon it. And the first thing is to change your mindset. Okay, now what do I mean by change your mindset, guys? There's a lot of different sales material and sales content out there that actually speaks about different things where you're working with your client, you're building up rapport. It's 100% essential within our industry, guys, to have the most rapport built, okay? We have a lot of scrutiny in our industry, we have a lot of pressure, we have a lot of rejection, okay? We have a lot of fear. So rapport is the #1 thing, but to change your mindset, guys, means that you need to understand that this is one of those products that, yes, it can be pushed. Okay, which means that if you're selling insurance and you sell a bad package to an old lady that you feel bad about, you probably shouldn't be able to go home and sleep at night. Okay, yeah, if you sell a car to someone that really can't afford it, you know, you might not be able to sleep at night. But the only thing that will result, okay, if you're working for a good company with a solid product, out of you pushing someone into a deal or having that ability to build up a sense of urgency and move them through that process, is more money in their pocket. Okay, you're a benefit. Okay, so that's the first point, is you need to change your mindset. It's okay to do the deal today. It's okay to put pressure on your merchant. It is actually okay to get them as much as possible, guys, as physically as fast as possible to close that deal. The end result will be money back in their pocket. Okay, which brings me to point number 2. So number 1, you need to change your mindset. This is okay to push. This is okay to overstep your boundaries. Okay, a good example of this, guys, is Grant Cardone says this in a very, very beautiful way. People don't lose deals, okay, of what they said. Okay, they lose deals off what they did not say. Okay, they're sitting there, oh, I don't want to say that. I don't want to piss my client off. Say it. Okay, bring it to the table, tell the truth, move them forward through the process. Okay, number 2, guys, that's going to really help you get to 30 to 40 deals a month is you need to understand that credit card processing nowadays should be viewed as a utility. Okay, now what do I mean by that? Very important thing to understand. When you're selling an asset, most of the time you have to take that asset and trade it for money. Okay, and a lot of the times with that transaction, that asset, that person doesn't necessarily need it. Now, whether you'd like to believe it or not, whatever organization or product that you sell, okay, whether it would be cars, shoes, insurance, they don't necessarily need that product. So you have to believe in yourself as a salesman first to sell that. Second thing is you have to convince your customer that the value of that product is worth the money they're gonna give you, and then you can facilitate the sale. Okay, the end result with processing is a little bit different. You need to understand that it should be and looked at and treated as a utility. Okay, which most businesses that you sell in processing already have what you are selling. It's pretty self-explanatory. There's your machine, it's a credit card machine. Now we can dive more into value with POSs and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, even with the most value in a point of sale system, the person is going to be looking at their bottom line. They're going to be looking at the price. period, end of story. That's what sold merchant services for years, and what continue to sell merchant services is the actual bottom end dollar. And if you shut this utility off, the business will have a very hard time functioning. If I turn off the electricity in your business, it will shut down. Okay, you don't have lights, it will not work for the most part, for most businesses. Same thing, if I shut off your power, there's probably a good chance you will not be able to run your business, right? If I shut off your heating and cooling, same kind of thing. Credit card processing nowadays, guys, is a utility. You need to understand that it's a utility. So you have to take your customer, okay, and take them out of that buying mindset that they're actually buying something, that you're a salesman selling them an asset. They're going to get defensive. They're going to have a certain situation where they're going to treat processing like, oh, I have to make a decision on a sale. I have to make a decision on a new oven for my restaurant. I have to make a new decision on awnings or windows or the lease payment, right? Processing is not like that. You got to get your merchant outside of that way of thinking and saying that I'm not here to facilitate a transaction or a sell. I'm not giving you something. I have to show you the value. What I'm doing is something that you already have. It's sitting right there. The question that you have to really ask yourself is that if it's comparable or close to the same and it's not that big of a hassle, and I can prove that there's a valuable amount of savings there, you have to just decide what you want to come in or come out of your bank account at the end of the month. So it's a very self-explanatory kind of thing. So if you understand more that it's a utility, you can push that transaction a little bit harder. So when you're pushing to close 15 deals a month and you missed out on 10 of them just because you said, hey, you would come back, or I got to talk to my partner, or I've got to do this, or got to do that. At the end result, no matter how hard I push, if you sign this paperwork, you will save this much money. It will be a very simple transaction. So your customers will come in next month and buy the same in your business that has nothing to do with me. And it's probably comparable to this month. At the end of the month, they're going to do that anyway, whether I help them or not, or whether I leave. But if I leave right now and you don't do this deal, you will result in what I have in front of me, this statement. You will result in paying $700 a month. If I give you the cash discount program, you pay nothing. So it's a very simple choice. So understand, guys, that credit card processing is a utility. That's number 2. And then number 3, okay, it's very vital and very important. We see a lot of sales professionals that go into merchant processing that mess this up a lot, is that they actually are handed a very valuable sales tool. And that is their sales process. That is using and utilizing their sales tools, their sales manager. Okay, their steps of the sale that they're given, their objections training. They go right into it and they just kind of do half of it. Okay, they think that they're doing the right job. So what we need to do, guys, number 3, that's gonna get you to 30 deals a month, is that you need to stay on your process. You need to stay on the process that the company gave you, that has very successful representatives, that has very successful managers, that has probably been in the industry an extremely long period of time. So keeping that in mind, we need to stay within our steps of the sale, follow your process, and continue to study that process. Don't just get out of training, okay, and do the process 1 or 2 times and then completely forget about it, okay? It's like a professional sport. Sales is a professional sport. People that are in professional sports, the stuff that you don't get to see is the 10,000 hours of work and energy and effort that they put into perfecting their craft. So if we go through a little training, we get in front of a few merchants, and then we study the process a little bit, we can't expect good results unless we continuously study this every single night. So those are the top 3 tips, guys, that really set aside the idea and the mindset between the top 1% and everybody else in the field when we're selling merchant services. This is how you can get to 30 to 40 deals a month. First off, change your mindset. Realize this is a product you can go home and sleep at night, and it should be pushed, no matter the scenario, because logically and numerically, you can't fight with numbers and you can't fight with the bottom line. Number 2, understand that it is a utility. Once you can get your merchant to understand this is a utility, and it's actually a very simple business, numerical accounting decision, then they can make it a lot easier. Okay, number 3, stay on the sales process. Now, all of this stuff, I'm speaking very aggressively and I'm teaching you this way, but I need you to understand is that all of this encompass needs to be with 100% rapport. So you need to have that built first. Once that rapport is 100% built, there is trust there. They call you by your first name. You're using your merchant's first name. You have that relationship. You need to take these 3 things and hammer them home, and you will get to 30 to 40 deals a month as an individual representative, not as a manager, but as just a representative going to appointments, self-prospecting. Keep those 3 things in mind and you will get to 30 to 40 deals a month. Thanks for tuning in to Merchant Services Slayer, guys. Like, share, subscribe. We'll be putting out a lot more sales tips that are gonna help you build up your portfolio. Rock and roll, and I'll see you guys in the field.